Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for May 2023 for each life path number. Now, if you're interested in sort of an understanding of the collective energy for May, as well as your own personal month forecast for May, which will include the moon, the full and the new moon, which is also includes the eclipse that's coming up in May, then make sure to check out your personal month forecast, which will be coming for the month of May towards the end of April. So keep an eye out for that. Know that the calculations for the personal months are different to the life path energy. So make sure that you do your calculation before you listen to that. If you missed your personal month forecast for April, those are up. So make sure you have a listen because it also includes eclipse energy that we're going to be working with for the next 3 to 6 months. So that's important. Okay, so this, of course, is a general forecast. If you would like a personalized forecast or a personal numerology reading, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the life path numbers for May 2023. Life path 33-6. So I pulled an animal spirit message for you all this month, and you got donkey energy. And First thing I want to say about this is, donkeys get such a bad rap, but they're such incredibly beautiful, very intelligent animals. I mean, they grieve. You can see this in their, like if you've ever seen a donkey lose a loved one, they will sit, either at the last place that they saw that other donkey, or if the donkey is, buried on the grounds, they will literally go and just lay there and mourn and just hold space for that deceased loved one. It's incredibly powerful to see. It's incredibly beautiful. They're such connected beings. Like, I know it sounds, if you've only heard sort of the stories of donkeys that you see on TV or whatever, and sort of that stubbornness and all those things, they're just very wise, vigilant creatures, just incredibly beautiful and very loyal. It's incredibly, incredibly beautiful. So I just wanted to say that because sometimes we hear a donkey and we just, all the negative connotations come through. But with donkey this month, I think there's a lot to be said here about patience. They are such incredibly patient beings. So sometimes we can see that as stubbornness, but it can also be seen as patience, like just being very steadfast and being very loyal and patient in their energy. There's also this energy of humility, right? And also being humble. So there may be experiences this month where you need to be humble, right? Where maybe it's best to not share your opinion if that opinion isn't going to change the experience, right? Isn't going to add to the experience. Because sometimes, as humans with an ego, we share our opinions because we think that it's going to make this big difference. And that because, we feel, well, it worked for me, it's going to work for you type thing. But sometimes it's more about feeding the ego and the ego needing to be right, as opposed to actually really trying to contribute in a way that's beneficial for the parties involved. So it may be this month that, it's more about listening. It's more about showing up into a space where others feel comfortable sharing with you, or unloading their burdens to have help and assistance in you helping them to work through that. That's very possible as well, because you think of the donkey, it's like this kind of workhorse energy type thing, where it is sort of sacrificing. And again, I use that word very with caution, because sacrifice sometimes, I'm a big, preacher about compromise, not sacrifice type thing, right? Because there really isn't the need to sacrifice ourselves for others. But there's something to be said about maybe sacrificing your need to be right, or sacrificing your need to have a say in somebody else's journey or whatever, but rather sort of just showing up and being a presence type thing. So, and a true presence, right? And I just think about donkey spirit and how beautiful it is. in their presence. Like they're just, when they're there, right? And so there really is something coming through here for you 33s, where in your life this month, with others, with family, with friends, with whoever, there's a very selfless energy coming through. And you're also working with 9 energy this month, which I'll talk about. So it's kind of like doubled. But there's definitely something here about this month. You may have opportunities where your presence is more powerful than your words. Okay, so I'm going to say that again. This month, your presence may be more powerful than your words. So kind of think about that, okay? Or you can combine the two and be like a powerhouse, right? Like just be very mindful of your words and your presence. And that can be very, very impactful because you are working with the energy of the 36. And I'll talk about that. But yeah, with donkey energy, there's definitely something here about patience, and steadfastness and loyalty, and really loyalty to self too, right? Showing up for self, honoring your needs, communicating your needs, being vulnerable to communicate your needs, and expressing yourself, your emotions, expressing them in a way where, again, you're not using them as sort of weapons, right? Or to gain some kind of something from someone. It's more just about expressing and moving that energy. Incredibly, incredibly beautiful. And I encourage you to also, if you feel sort of called to sort of do some research on donkey and how they sort of move through the world. It's incredibly beautiful. I had the pleasure of working at a rescue barn or farm or whatever, and there were donkeys there. And I'll tell you, they were just such incredible beings. And that was the first time I had such a deep connection with these animals. But it was so eye-opening. Like, I really do believe animals can teach us so much. So anyway, for you all, there may just be something about your presence being your superpower this month. And really for 33s, that is a big piece of your journey, right? Is your presence bringing that love, that beautiful energy to others and to a space. So donkey this month is probably going to help you to do that or have opportunities to do that. Now, for May, you are also working with, like I said, the 36, 9 energy, really the 9 energy. So this is a very selfless energy. This is very much about empowering others, helping to lift others. Again, being a powerful presence for others, to lean on, to come to when they need something. Now for 33/6s, that's not, that's such a big part of your nature anyway, but this really brings in such a strong spiritual component that you may see, again, just very strong downloads from the spiritual realm or your higher self or whatever, that really gives you insight into how to step into this presence. Also, there could be some things coming to completion this month. And so, and things not really coming in too quickly to take its place. And so you might feel some frustration with that. So I would say, again, patience, knowing that if something doesn't show up to fill that space, it's because it's not ready yet. It's still cooking, right? And so it'll come. It has to. That's just the law of nature, right? So that void will not be there very long, but then, time and space is relative. Is that the saying? It's like, 2 days or six years for us is, when we talk about energy, is not a long time. So, patience, right? If something closes out or is released from your experience and something doesn't come to fill its space right away, as expected, just have patience. It's coming. And what comes in is going to be aligned with what needs to come in, right? Now, also, again, you've got this energy of the 36. So 3, creativity, big energy, social energy, again, moving your creative life force. Make sure that you're moving your body in whatever way feels good for you this month, because it's going to continue to move that energy so that it doesn't get stagnant. And it's going to probably bring in some creative ideas for you. So, take what resonates and leave the rest. Also, you've got the energy of the 6, which is, of course, your life path. And the 3 is also your life path, 33, right? So the 6 energy, again, you could bring the focus around family, those closest to our heart, community, that sort of thing. So it may be that friends, or not, sorry, close friends, family, partners need you this month, but need your presence and need you to just be there without trying to fix or trying to control the situation in a way where could feel difficult for you, because as a 33-6, you're just by nature very nurturing, right? It's just in your blood. And it can be difficult when you can't fix something for someone, right? So, but this month might ask you to recognize that being the presence sometimes is greater, so, and more helpful for that person. So incredibly beautiful energy for you all this month. And I love donkey energy coming through. Again, I would definitely encourage you just to kind of read up on actual donkeys, not necessarily the spiritual meaning behind donkeys, but like how donkeys actually move in the world, right? It's incredibly beautiful. So I love it. So I hope it's a great month for you all 33s. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.